All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jojo May with Tops Now today, and we're going to start our year in review. This is our first video for the 10th anniversary. Well, I guess they call it the 11th. I don't know, but it's the 10th anniversary, the 10-year anniversary of when the Francisco Liriano and the Kansas City Royals card came out from Tops Now. You can see they came out on the 3rd, but really you didn't see them until the 4th. That's when you could buy them. So the Loriano card is the first one in Topps Now history with only a 266 print run. And the Kansas City Royals card has 90 more at 356. If you don't know what Topps Now is, basically they sold the cards at about, if you bought 20, you get them for about 350 a piece, but about $9 a piece. And then you could buy as many as you wanted, and they only sold or only printed the amount sold. So only 266 were made of the Moriano card. Let's move around like that. That looks a little better. Um, so as you can see here on eBay, there's only two out there. One is a $29,000 offer. I mean, buy it now. And the other one, and I know both of these sellers, um, I've been doing this since the very beginning, and I love these cards. These cards document this baseball season. This is what happened on opening day in 2016. And what happened on opening day in 2026? They put out a bunch of cards for that. And so throughout the whole season, I mean, if you put all those cards, they did 665 cards throughout the season in 2016. And if you put them in a coffee table book, you would be able to flip through it and be able to tell exactly what happened in the whole season. It's an amazing concept, and actually the way baseball cards should have been done from the beginning, because we're all kind of history buffs when we look at baseball cards. We love the history of it. It's not just about opening packs, it's about remembering. And these, you remember if you were at the game, these type of things. And so with the number one card, yes, or he retired in like 2019, and yeah, he's been a coach and stuff like that. He was not that. Uh, I mean, he was he was professional baseball player, better than I ever was, and and so kudos to him. But maybe his most important thing is that he is the first guy ever pitchered on a Tops Now card. He threw uh, 10 strikeouts that day, and against the Cardinals, and it was a great moment. Maybe the highlight of his career. And Top said, "Yep, that's the one we're going to use." And if you see here, this is yeah, you can see my little mouse. You can see this is how Top sent them out. There was no penny sleeve on this or anything. They just put them in a card saver too and put a little sticker on there and sent them out. They did this for the first 300 some cards until they finally started putting them in little clamshells, because people were buying a bunch more. I mean, 266, that's not too bad. But when you start printing thousands, it starts getting a little crazy, and we were up to three, four, 500,000. One of the cards not too long ago. But anyway, yeah, these prices seem way high, but there are only two people out there, and I know baseball cards are run on comps, and well, at least the people who buy baseball cards now, who are movers and shakers and stuff, it's all about comps. I need comps for this and comps for that. Well, I'm going to tell you that there's no comps for this. There's very few comps. There's There's 266 of these in existence. This is like the comps when a Horst Wagner comes up and sells. That's how many come up and sell. I mean, maybe one of these have sold or traded hands in the last couple years. It's not that often that these come up and sell. If you have one, I don't care the condition. I'll give you $1,000 for it right now. And it's Francisco Liriano, but I would because it is rare and very much in demand in a small niche community. Understood, but still, maybe not 10,000, maybe not 20,000 for a nine. I got a 10 right here. Yeah, I'd probably sell it for 30,000 if you wanted, uh, if you really wanted it. But I know I have two more that are not in holders at all. So yeah, it's the only reason I would sell that because my wife would kill me if I didn't sell it for 30,000. So there's a price in there somewhere, but it's not just pennies. And so that's that one. And then you have this one, and we'll move on to this one here real quick. This is the Royals won the World Series in 2015. And you'll find something out when you start collecting tops now. When you win the World Series, it's a huge deal when your cards, because people want to collect that whole set. And what was great about Tops Now, it started in 2016 when the Cubs won it all. And so it went, I mean, it's just crazy trying to find Cubs. And we'll talk about this as the season goes on. This is just the first day. Uh, but if the Royals, if this had been in 2015, the Royals cards would be worth a crazy amount of money. But anyway, this card, as you can see, there's 90 more of these. And this is the same seller that is trying to sell them as original. This is how they came. And I love that concept. This is originally how they came. And I actually have one of each of one and two that came right from Tops, and it looks just like this. They haven't been taken out of the anything. Um, and that's cool. I'm not about that really, but I have kept one like that just because it seems pretty cool to just remember that this is actually how they put them out. But yeah, I have a graded copy of that. I have a BGS copy of all of these as well. Well, not all of them, but most of them. I'm putting together a set, three sets, SGC, PSA, and BGS, but I don't have them all all of one. I have some that are just still raw and some that are not graded at all. But it's a very interesting set to collect. But anyway, this one here is definitely underrated. Uh, you might say, "Oh, it's just a Kansas City Royals card, right?" Well, it's the first Kansas City Royal card in Topps Now history, and it captures the trophy. And there's only 356 of them on the planet. So I don't know. If you're a Royals fan, that might not be a bad price to pay. And it's funny about this card. It's been until Topps Now started taking off this year, well, and last year, and every year it keeps continues to get more and more popular. But really, in the last couple of years, this card has become noted. Um, because I used to be able to pick these up, and I'd see them at auction, and you'll see a lot of Topps Now cards go at auction under the radar. Not these two cards in particular because they've been really recognized, at least in our small niche community. But you'll see that some cards will just fly under the radar that are actually valuable in the community. Just people just didn't catch it in that week. Nobody was looking at card number 255, though that card only has 300 some made, and nobody was looking at it that week. Somebody put it up at auction, and it goes for just a couple bucks, and somebody in the Tops Now Today group or any of the Tops Now communities would pay big money for it. So this used to fly under the radar quite a bit, but it doesn't anymore. I would pick them up at under $75, and but that those days are gone. But still, if you're a Royals collector, you can still get in on the kind of ground floor at least under $300. Now, if you're a Pirates collector and you're trying to put all the Pirates together, yeah, you're in a world of hurt. Actually, there's a guy in our group that's he's actually a Francisco Liriano collector, hardcore. He loves all his stuff, but he doesn't have this card. So yeah, he's like, I guess I'm never gonna own it. And yeah, you might not, but then there's another story about this card. A friend of mine, and I actually bought the card from him. Pretty sure yeah, it was probably the last one of these I bought. It had a little ding on the bottom corner, but he bought it in a card shop, a dollar bin. Uh, yeah, I paid him pretty good money for it, and he made a great profit, and that was good. Um, but yeah, I like I said, I pay $1,000 for one of these, and if you got them, just send them my way. I'll take them all day long, and all 266 of them, if you got them. And then for the others, these are we sell all. I mean, all day long for 250 for sure. So a lot of people don't understand. Is like, what? Why would they pay 250 for that card, or why would they pay friggin' $1,000 for this card? It's unique. It's rare, and they're never going to make another one. There's not one out there that is not hidden in a pack somewhere. Someone has to die to give this card up because people collect them just like they collect everything else. It's the first one, and once it's in your collection, you're not going to want to give it up. You just won't. Uh, well, unless somebody's willing to pay the piper right here, right? Uh, and like I said, I would let mine go for 30,000 for sure. But I'm sure nobody's going to pay that. But there's a price in between there for that card and for that card. And Tops Now hasn't found its its stride yet. It's growing and growing, and so this card is not going down. So anyway, if you're buying into things looking for to make money, this is not about making money. It's more about collecting the history of the cards, and what I'm trying to do here is trying to spread awareness of the cards, not about the price of the cards as much as that this card exists, it's unique, and this whole set exists, and it tells the whole story of baseball in 2016. And as we go through each card that is dropped every day, you will see how that story unfolds in 2016, which was such a great story. Not a Cubs fan, but it is a great. Oh, spoiler alert! I'm a Phillies fan, not a Cubs fan, but it is a great ending in 2016. Even if you're a baseball fan, it's a great ending. Well, unless of course you're a Cleveland fan, it's a great ending. But anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And tomorrow I will drop the next cards that came out. And one of them includes very predominant Philly now. So look for that one. Thanks for watching. Come on over to Tops Now Today on Facebook. Join the conversation. Thanks for watching.